Let's move on with a look through the international newspaper headlines with Flo. Hi there.
Hi, Kat.
We're going to start off with how the international papers are looking at these latest developments in the Greek crisis.
That's right. Now, lots of papers are focusing on that emergency meeting yesterday. It's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal today. Time runs short for Greece, but the Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras did manage to buy a little bit of time.
He's quite good at that, isn't he?
Quite good at that. Keeps pushing back
Maybe
time
he's got
a
an
little
Apple
bit.
Watch.
What's interesting, though, is a lot of papers are focusing on Germany, specifically the German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Now, you can read about it all over the German press, of course. I pulled out an article from Tagesspiegel. Now, she's essentially starting to ruffle some feathers across the political spectrum for being too lenient about Greece. Now, this, what you can see here, is actually the front page of Bild. That's a tabloid.
From
yesterday, exactly. But papers are still focusing on this. So yesterday, the headline ran, "What we need is an iron chancellor, no new billions for Greece." And you can see, of course, this image of the prime minister, the chancellor, rather, with this spiked hat that has, of course, a lot of
Empire era,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Der Tagesspiegel is actually critical of Bild today for being provocative, calling revenge with what it calls this silly iron lady. Neither Germany nor Angela Merkel really need this.
It's the kind of silliness you expect from the British tabloids, really, isn't it? Well, let's move on with some papers that are taking a little bit more of a serious look at this, saying Merkel's facing a test of her leadership.
That's right, a test of leadership that actually could affect her legacy. Now, what's interesting is there's an Australian paper, The Australian, that has a very interesting piece today about this. Talks about mutterings in Germany over the fact that Merkel hasn't really played the Greek crisis cleverly. Now, critics say that it's actually because of her intransigence that Alexis Tsipras actually came to power, and it's because of her hard line on the issue that the crisis got so bad. And now it seems like she's going soft, while domestic pressure is saying that she should not give further ground. So the Australian says that after years of being called the Queen of Europe, she fears this disastrous legacy, that of being a chancellor who broke up the Eurozone. And The Guardian today agrees with this analysis and says Merkel indeed somehow created Alexis Tsipras. She certainly made his political career, but now he has an enormous say in her political legacy. But the opposite is true as well. And you can see it here in the title. Merkel and Tsipras are polar opposites, but their fates depend on each other.
It's very yin and yang.
They're yin and yang, exactly, and they've never needed each other so much as they do now.
Deary me. Okay, well, let's move on to another deadline extension. We've been reporting this in our main news bulletin. Iran, the talks over the nuclear program.
That's right. Libération editorial, I think, sums up the situation quite well. It talks about the Iranian forest hiding behind the Greek tree, because
lovely
we've been so obsessed with the Greek crisis that, well, Libération says that we've somewhat forgotten about the Iranian one, and yet it is so much more important for the balance of power and world safety in the years to come.
Okay, quick look at the Moroccan press, an indecent exposure trial that's grabbing headlines there.
That's right. Two women aged 23 and 29 were arrested in the southern city of Agadir in June for wearing dresses deemed too tight. Critics say this is part of a pattern of discriminatory laws in the kingdom. Now, there's a comment piece in Express that says that it's really a personal issue as to what a woman decides to wear, where it's not a question of politics, not a question of society. And what Morocco really should be doing these days is focusing on poverty, on unemployment, real issues, not what someone wears.
Okay, and sticking with women's football, the USA champions of the Women's World Cup, and we're still talking about it.
We're still talking about them. That's right, because the New York City mayor, Bill de Blasio, has called for a ticker tape parade to be held on Friday. A ticker tape parade is a parade with lots of confetti. They've been around since 1886. There have been 206 of these ticker tape parades. Some have been held for individual women, but this is the first time that a women's team will be celebrated. So congratulations once again to the U.S. national soccer team.
Lovely celebrations in New York for that. Thank you very much, Flo Villamino, for bringing us that press review, and also for battling on through the mosquitoes that seem to be plaguing you in the studio today. Okay, we're going to take a short break now here on Live from Paris, hopefully get the mosquitoes out. And when we're back, we'll have the latest on all of our top world news stories for you, plus our special focus report on the village in Spain that's forgetting phone calls, faxes and letters. Twitter, they say, is the new way to cut through red tape. Find out more in the next half hour.